Right, Blighty Boxing in association with Frank Warren and Queensbury Promotions. We're here at Phoenix Fitness in Liverpool and we're joined by JJ Metcalf, Kid Shamrock. How are you, sir?
I'm good, mate. How are you?
Yeah, all good. Now, the obvious place to start with you and the latest in your boxing journey, take you back to the middle of last year, fight up in Leeds. You fought for the Commonwealth title against Jason Wellborn. Before the fight, somebody told me at ringside, JJ's got a bust hand but won't pull out the fight. And I thought to myself, well, we'll soon see, and watch the fight. And true enough, that right hand was pretty much unused.
Yeah, well, I boxed a few weeks before in a warm-up, and I hit it the first round, but the Wellborn fight was already scheduled. And I knew it. I went and seen Mike Ayton. He said I need an operation, so they couldn't fit me in with the operation till after the Wellborn fight. So, I'm in a bit of a rush, so I needed to take the fight, and it paid off at the time.
What a way to go into a fight, though. I mean, it must have been torturous, wasn't it?
Yeah, well, I didn't throw it at all during camp. I went on the paddles a couple of times on the cameras just to make it look like I was using it, and there was nothing wrong with it. But I was planning on not using it. I threw it the odd couple of times in the fight, but yeah, it's over now. I've had the operation and looking to push on this year now.
Were you in pain throughout the fight, or was it just because you were disguising and not using it?
Yeah, I was sort of holding back on it. Sometimes seeing the right hand, just wouldn't throw it, or did it a couple of times, but it's just something I had to get through at the time. Paid off. Lucky.
So no consideration to doing a sensible thing and holding your hand up, so pardon the pun, and pulling out the fight?
Do you know what? It's a funny story. I was in two minds what to do. I was speaking to my dad, and I flicked the coin. Said if it lands on heads, I'm fighting, and it did land on heads, so I took the fight and just said that's it. I'm taking the fight no matter what. And then,
had it landed on tails, might have pulled out?
I probably wouldn't have took the fight because I had it in my head. I didn't know what to do. I was thinking I'd need two hands to fight Jason Wellborn, and but at the time I thought it might be better. It might feel a little bit better in 4 weeks or whatever. So flicked the coin, it landed on heads, and just took the fight. There was no going back from that minute.
Hell of a gamble, though, isn't it? Because Jason Wellborn, he was a live opponent. He was coming off a world title shot against Jarrett Hurd.
Yeah, well, the plan was just to box him and then sort of push it on him a bit later. And first few rounds I was just moving on my feet, and then towards the end I think the point took off and made me sort of want to go for it a bit more, and then I got lucky and caught him with that body shot.
You must have been relieved to get a stoppage in that fight, wouldn't you?
Yeah, it was made up, yeah. Brilliant performance.
And then after that, I suppose it was get the op done and then a boring period of rehab, I guess.
Yeah, that's it. Been doing everything I can to make it here faster. I've been going down to Altington with a bass, brilliant down there. I've had that freeze treatment on it and all the time, a couple of times a week. Back now, it's getting better every day. So boxing again on the 28th of February. See how it goes then. Should be ready for anything.
The show you're talking about is at Liverpool Grand Central. It's a Black Flash show. It's just a case of, like I say, getting yourself back out there. But you did say to me earlier, but you've got to be a little bit careful in this fight because it's not a pushover. No,
you've got to be careful in every fight. Sometimes you take your eye off the ball, and that's when slip-ups happen. And this fella I'm fighting is Mexican, so he's obviously tough. And every win that he's had, he's knocked out. So I think he's a middleweight or a super middleweight as well. So I'll have to be on my game and just make sure I don't have no slip-ups and keep my record how it is.
Now, I don't want to sort of labour a point, but you have been a bit unlucky the last sort of year or so, because before you won your Commonwealth title, you were due to have I think everyone was looking forward to what would have been a cracking fight against Liam Williams. You got an injury out running, something like that, but when you look at where he's gone from that point, the fight you were supposed to have, you must look at it and think, well, what might have been.
You know what, you never know. It might have been a blessing, because at the time it was like a similar situation with me and with Wellborn. I was thinking, shall I take the fight or not? And then I'd went over on my ankle weren't right, but I was still willing to take the fight at the time. But when I look at his performances lately, I think, you know, would they have been right for that fight with my ankle the way it was? And you know, everything happens for a reason. And I think every time I've had loads of bad luck throughout my career, but every time I'm still in the gym, I'm always getting better. So every time you see me, you're going to see a better version of myself.
Looking at the way it's gone for him, I don't suppose you'd imagine we'll see Liam Williams back at light middleweight now, will we?
You never know, but middleweight looks like it suits him better than it would light middle, really.
Been impressed?
Yeah, he's looked good, yeah, definitely.
Looking at the light middleweight scene at the moment, I suppose you've got Fitzgerald, Cheeseman, Fowler. Is that a little sort of mix but you're desperate to get in the middle of?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. I'd love to win the British title. Defend my Commonwealth title. I'm ranked third with the IBF now, so push on towards that. I'd love them fights as well, and I believe I'm ready for them as well.
I did notice that IBF ranking the other day. I mean, that's a handy little number to have. I mean, especially as you've been absent for such a long time.
Yeah, definitely. I think it was because Wellborn had that performance with Jada Heard, and then I've beaten him in a similar fashion, so I think they just ranked me up there alongside that. So, you know, I was meant to fight a fella who's just boxed for the IBF Eliminator against a Russian, Jorge Fortea, and he pulled out against me and he ended up boxing a different Spanish kid for the WBC International, and I won that. So I don't know if that's come into factor as well, but if I could get an Eliminator for the IBF as well, I'd love that.
How do you rate the domestic light middles we spoke about earlier?
Do you know what? Even at world level, they're all good, and you can see it's changing hands all the time. You think one's dominating, and then someone else beats them, and then they get beat as well. So it's up in the air. There's that many fighters at the weight, and they're all good as well. So it is open, but at the same time, got to be 100% on the night, and that's how you're going to win it.
Who's the best out of Fowler, Fitzgerald, Cheeseman, in your opinion?
At the minute, it's Fitzgerald because he's beat the both of them. So, but you never know what happens down the line, if they have rematches or whatever. But no, I'll take any of them fights.
Liam Smith's still probably ahead of them all.
He's ahead of everyone at the minute. He's probably pushing on for world titles himself now. So he's had a few good wins lately, and I think he's just a bit above all them. Yeah.
Take you back a little bit, JJ. I mean, beginning of your career. You signed professional under Frank Maloney. Like you said before, you were age 23 at the time. What was that like as an experience? I mean, obviously, knowing what we know now, is Kelly Maloney. I mean, that little bombshell must have come as a little bit of a surprise at the time.
Yeah, definitely. It was a big surprise, but, you know, good luck to him, whatever he chooses to do. But at the time, it sort of set me back a little bit because I was starting to get on the Sky bills at the time, and you know, I was pushing on. And he lost all that. Then I ended up with Steve Woods, just getting on small all shows again. So I've had to work my way back up. Been with Frank now for me last 6 or 7 fights or something. So I'll push on with him now, hopefully.
So as it played out, the news about Kelly Maloney broke in Sunday Mirror or something like that. You read it, and that was essentially that he hasn't promoted since, has he? So I suppose it was just an abrupt full stop, but you couldn't have anticipated.
You couldn't have called it, could you? It's just a mad situation, but you know, nothing you can do about it. You just got to crack on.
Did you think there at the time, though? You think, oh, this is the end of that?
Do you know, I didn't think it like that. It was just, you know, I've only ever had one goal. I just want to do as well as I can in boxing, so I never took it in too much. I was just thinking, where do we go from here, and what can get me back in and get me on the big shows or get me some titles or something. So,
did he or she ring you to explain the situation or to say, but you know, I'm not going to be in boxing at the moment for a while?
No, I didn't speak to him or her, but I never spoke to him since then, so I haven't seen him since, so it's just one of those things, just forgot about it now.
Moving up to date, what's 2020 going to bring for James Metcalf?
I don't know what it's going to bring. I can't even say. I don't know. Anything could pop up, but you know, I'm going to be fit. I'm going to be ready, and I'm willing to put anything on the line. Or put my Commonwealth on the line, or I'll step up and fight for a eliminator for world titles, or whatever gets put in front of me. If it makes sense, I'm going to take it, and I'll be fit and ready.
Is it that old cliche again? But this fight on the 28th has got to be a statement performance.
Yeah, it's a bit of it'll be a bit of a test. You know, I'm just getting over a hand injury. I've only had the operation a couple of months ago, so it's sort of just getting the rounds back in the bank and hopefully get a few rounds in and then push on after that. Then.
If you were given a choice, would you like to be mandated for the British title? Because I imagine get one win and you'd be back figuring very highly in that argument. Or would you rather take advantage of your IBF ranking?
It depends really. Different issues. You know, the British title's a big fight because it's a bit of exposure, but at the same time the IBF just pushes you right on as well. So whatever comes up, and if you know whatever little factors, money wise or anything else, I'll take that. But I think I deserve a British title fight as well. You know, we had the eliminator about 2-3 years ago, yeah. And sort of got brushed aside with the British title. So, you know, I think I deserve it. Deserve the shot.
Just finally, how's the old man, the legend, Shea Neary? Very, obviously, very famous in these parts. So you're working with him one-on-one now, aren't you? Whereas before you were with other trainers. Is everything going good?
Yeah, everything's going perfect. Yeah, he's still fit himself. He's always in the gym. Yeah, I'm back in with him later on about 4 o'clock. So he'll put me through my paces then.
You ever sparred him?
Hundreds of rounds with him, yeah.
Really? I mean, he looks like a proper hard case now, though, doesn't he?
Yeah. I haven't sparred him for a couple of years now, about 3 or 4 years. But yeah, I've had some tough times with him.
Did he used to chin you?
Yeah. Yeah, fucking hell. To be honest.
He dropped you before?
Yeah, he's the only person who dropped me really, body shot, when I was about 15 or 16. When he was still pretty fit at the time, so.
Did you call Childline?
No. I saw me mum off him. No.
JJ Metcalf, wish you the best of luck for the 28th. It's great talking to you again, and hopefully see you back on BT Sport very soon.